A lot of comments regarding how all of these charts look the same. As you can see here, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, all the way down, they all look incredibly similar in terms of their price action, at least over the last 7 days. And I think that the problem here lies in that people don't understand that no coin has a dollar value except for Bitcoin. I'm pretty sure that even the Ethereum pairings, when they're priced, it's an Ethereum price in terms of Satoshi multiplied by the price of Bitcoin. And that's how you end up with dollar valuations for every coin, which means that every coin is valued in Bitcoin. So what does this mean? Well, if you look at here and you were to look at these coins in terms of Bitcoin levels, they haven't really moved that much. This one maybe a little bit, Stellar 10%, EOS 13.5. The rest of them are 2, 4, 3, 2, very small amounts. And that's a very common thing all the way down, of course, except for VeChain, which tears through the competition. But other than that, they all seem to be in a very small range. They don't actually have a lot of fluctuation in terms of their Satoshi levels. But what Bitcoin does currently have is a ton of fluctuation in its USD value, higher than most of the differences all of the coins themselves are experiencing on their own when you don't include the variance of dollar valuation of Bitcoin. What does this mean? People become very afraid when they see their altar coming down in value. So it starts essentially a little bit of a sell-off because they're afraid. And since most people don't really care what a Satoshi level is and they're looking at dollar values on Coinbase, they see their coin come down 10%, they freak out. So Bitcoin coming down 10% makes Ethereum's dollar value come down 10%, even if it's moving completely sideways. Then they sell off some Ethereum, then Ethereum starts to sell off a little bit, then maybe Bitcoin comes down a little more, and it causes a bigger drop. Bigger. A much bigger drop than they would have if there wasn't this connection between the two. But as long as you understand that this is what's going on, then you don't need to freak out about your coins. You really should be looking at Satoshi levels if you're in it for the long term, and I think most people do know that, but new people don't really care about Satoshis, they care about dollars. I will say that I was always wondering, you're like, well, how could people not know? Who gets involved here and doesn't know? And my brother apparently recently got involved. I don't really talk about it, my crypto stuff, so, I never mentioned it to him. But at a dinner table, he said two things to me. One, you've heard before. Look at the price of Ripple. What if Ripple gets to the same valuation as Bitcoin? Which is obviously, hopefully you all know that is incredibly unlikely. It would make it worth, I think, hundreds of trillions, a lot of money. Incredibly unlikely. I'm going to say pretty much impossible, and a really bad way to look at things. But the next statement was really the highlight of things that I've heard, and it's when he said that Bitcoin was about to merge with Ripple. Yeah, you heard that right. Bitcoin, as if there were some sort of like companies combining themselves. It's just Bitcoin is going to merge with Ripple. You need to realize most people don't have any idea what's going on. I now know multiple people who have joined on Coinbase on their own, and they say to me, I bought at 800. If it hits, as soon as it hits 1100, I'm selling. They don't know anything about crypto. All they know is that it keeps going up, so they're buying in. And as much as I didn't really know anyone who was in that space, and I had read about it in different places, it is most certainly something that is going on. Now, there is one pretty big advantage to the fact that everything is pinned to Bitcoin, and that goes into taxes. Declaring taxes and tax advantages that you can get from capturing short-term capital losses. I don't know if it's capital gains losses, short-term trading losses that you can apply on your taxes. I'm going to make a video about that. I'm actually going to do that later, and hopefully this kind of leads into that. I really wanted to make more of a video about the advantages of taxes. So people just talk about how to declare them and what it does, but I really want to go into like how to beat the tax game at their own game with strategies that you can put in to pay the minimum. And to be honest with you, you probably owe a lot less than you think, potentially nothing. You can actually go out and declare tens of thousands of dollars in crypto in long-term capital gains and pay nothing. I'm gonna discuss that in the next video, and I will be putting that out at some point later today. Hopefully this has helped you in some way. All right.